All right, what's up, man?
What's going on? What's going on? What's going
Uh,
on, brother?
I'm cooler, man. There's been a lot, man, going on. I had to, get on live with you, man. We hadn't done this in a while because we've been working on a lot of other stuff, but it's logic and reason in the flesh.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.
Logic and reason in the flesh, man. And you got the crazy setup going on over there.
Oh no, as I like to say, as you would say, I just like to push buttons.
I hear you. I hear you. I hear you, man. But
Oh my goodness.
yeah. So like masculinity, manhood, all these things have been I don't know if it's just me or if comes with age or what it is, but it seems like masculinity, manhood, fatherhood have been a big topic of discussions these days. Um,
Absolutely.
what was it that like made you kind of start getting into like what does it mean to be a man? Like what is masculinity? Like what is um, what it means to be a father? Like what made you get into like being a man. I mean, for lack of a better way,
Well,
but
well, that is a strange way of putting it. I was born into it. Well, no, you're born into male. You know what? I'm actually going to jump into the aspect of the father aspect of it. See, so mine wasn't there. So, but my stepfather, he that man right there is like, I mean, I call him dad.
yeah,
Really. And and I'm not going to get into the whole aspect of westernized culture versus because he's from Ghana. So, being from Africa, they just think a little differently, and they do things differently. So I learned a lot from him. I learned a whole lot from him. Things that would be considered unusual today in westernized culture, he considered character in me.
right,
So yeah, that's I learned him, my grandfather, military man, police officer, which is why I have so much respect for the military today and law enforcement today. Even as a black man, still I
yeah,
do. So getting a lot from those two gentlemen helped me, really helped me understand the basis of manhood. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I mean, I've probably um what's the best way? They say I've you pass them. It took me what? I mean, it's taken me 40 years to come close to them as men.
right.
You know what I mean?
So what like
Mhm.
what set you on the journey? Because I'll get to mine in a second, but
Mhm.
um, what kind of set you on the journey? Like what made you interested in the aspects of being a man? I understand that when you grow up, you grow up with a father,
Mhm.
and or you're the male role model that's there, and you kind of imitate and mimic what you see, but there's not like the interest in actually being it. You just do it, right? You just take part. But then
Mhm.
like at certain point of life, it's just like you're interested in what it means to be a man, right? You're not
Mhm.
just being the man. You're just like you're interested in what it means
Mhm.
to be a man. So like what happened to get you to that position?
Well, I started experiencing things. I started experiencing and seeing things in society that I wasn't happy with. Um, and 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 I started thinking to myself, oh, and this wasn't a recent or something that was in a short period of time. This was over the span of 15 years, like 10,
Right,
15 years. And I'm sitting
right,
here like, wow, why in the world are we the way we are?
yeah,
Why, what why are uh I mean, I just found it strange that our culture and our society was the way it was, you
Hmm.
know. um and the statistics speak for itself. We've you and I've gone through the statistics before. The statistics are just ridiculous. I mean, even in the aspect of some, I mean, the financial aspect of it is ridiculous. I mean, and that's not even the biggest one.
Yeah.
That's what's crazy. That's not the biggest problem. I mean, I say it all the time. You know, we as African American culture, are the most per capita religious group of people in the United States. 80% of us believe we are. I mean, we follow one of the big three. It's either Christianity, Muslim, Jehovah's Witness. We are a religious group of people,
Hmm.
right? Yet, um, we believe in all of the. It's just bad. Yet, 40% of us have a zero to negative net worth.
Wow.
Like I mean that blows my mind, and that's just I mean uh so I mean inside outside that. The point I'm getting at is in what I mean that's just a lack of leadership, man.
Yeah.
That's just I mean that's
So seeing
that's
that is what
Mhm.
what got you interested in what it means to be a man or be a father. So
that
seeing
I
that
mean
lack of leadership or that void, is that what happened?
that was I mean that was a part of it, and also I had a I mean, very young age. I'm talking 17 years old. I had two big plans. I mean, those two big plans were to retire early and get married, like
Yeah.
at 17 years old.
Yeah.
So, because I saw I saw what family did as a child. Like I saw what the aspect of family did
Yeah.
as a child. I mean, I could not. b- Parents are important in different ways. Um, it's the mother's job to be the nurturer. It's the father's job to show discipline and order.
Hmm.
And when you're missing one or the other, you get a lopsided scale, so to speak. The only difference is normally when men have children by themselves, they understand that, hey, your daughter comes up to you and says, hey, I got my period. We're like, whoa, that's not something like
Yeah.
that. We're making a phone call.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen like that on the other side. And I'm not gonna get into all of that because that's not what you're asking about. But I know we as men and women handle things differently.
Yeah.
And the results are going to be different. Um yeah, no, I'll just I'm veering off a couple of different ways. I shouldn't have made it very simple. No, I understand. I've always understood the importance of family. I
Yeah.
think that is incredibly important. And in our culture, what you don't see the most is dad.
Yeah.
But it's proven that when dad is there, the best things happen.
Yeah. So some people will push back and say that there are dads there,
Well, there
and
there are, yes,
there is the fact that more black dads are around than white counterparts or whatever. The
that's the
argument is made,
CDC. Yeah, the CDC
but
said that. Yeah.
so when you say, like, how do you justify that statement you just made, where when you say it looks like, or it appears that more black men are not with the family?
Oh well, because you're not physically there doesn't mean you're not there. I mean, well, and that question really is a whole nother story because that then starts talking about the that starts talking about the court system,
Yeah, yeah,
and
right.
that's a whole nother thing for
Yeah,
another
that's
day.
that's that's a whole nother thing.
Yeah, and I could have, and I'd love to do that with you, but yeah, that's just so just because it's the presence that's the most important.
Yeah.
And it's just I mean, man, and I really hate, and let's be real here. I mean, the our ethnic image is changing. It
Hmm.
is. We are not, you know,
What do you say?
I
It's
mean,
changing for the better or for worse?
oh, it's changing for the better. I mean, the thing is now, we're at a new, you know, society sees things differently now because the men are actually fighting back. It's gotten to a point in which, you know what, it's where we are risking being canceled, so to
Hmm.
speak, to push the truth about what has been shown about us, what other people have shown about us,
Right.
you know. um and that ethnic image thing is important. It really really is. um because no, we're not all drug dealers and gangbangers. No, you know that there are more black men in college than in jail. You know what I mean? For
Well, I mean,
real.
there should be, you know.
Yeah, I mean, but you, it's always, oh, there's this, every, oh, men are going to jail,
Yeah.
and we don't know how to, a bunch of super emotional, non, you know, don't know how to stick around, don't know how to this, don't know how to that. Nah, man, that's bullshit. And the numbers don't prove it. And you know,
Yeah.
it's, it's too much of that.
So let's get into the question. What
Mhm,
is your biggest fear as a father? And I asked this question because I was talking
mhm,
with a young man last night, and he was,
mhm,
he's, um, had a rough life here in Baltimore, and he's like, man, I just never had a father. Um, show me how to be a father, and he has some kids, um, and he wants to be the best. Thanks to you. He wants to be the best he can be, but he's saying that he doesn't know how. And then when I had a conversation with him, it was interesting. So I asked him, what does your father, what does a father do? And he says, one, he just be there. He protects, he guides the family, he provides. And it was interesting because even though this young man never saw a father, he knew how to be one. And then so I challenged him a little bit. It's not that you don't know how, it's that you feel like you're inadequate. And it's because a lot of us feel that way. I mean, I don't know if you ever felt that way, but I know for me, as a father, and this what kind of gets us, I guess, in a bit of a rut that it's, I don't want to say easy to leave, but logically we think it makes better sense to leave, is because
mhm,
we get that feeling or that sense that, man, like, the baby came from her. She knows what the baby needs. She is in tune with the baby. And as a father, I'm just going to get in the way. I'm not good enough, for this child, and it's better off being with the mom.
again, the numbers don't show that.
No, no, no.
um
I'm not.
okay.
I'm not talking about the numbers right now.
Oh, okay, okay,
But I'm saying
okay.
like that mental process that men go through when having kids.
Mhm,
I don't care if you're rich, high off life, or you in the gutter,
mhm,
right? When you have a child, there's something that clicks inside of you
mhm,
that says you want to take care of this kid,
mhm,
that you want to do what's right. But at the same time, it comes to that point where you like, but is it good enough? But am I? But it is. But is this okay? Is Am I doing this right? It's like,
mhm,
men, like we need the manual sometimes, and
mhm.
it's like,
Yeah.
if we don't have the manual to show that it's, hey, okay, so I put this piece right here. I screw this part in here.
Mhm,
Like, and if we don't have that, sometimes it's like, oh man, did I do this right? Did I build this right?
mhm,
Um, but I think the biggest fear, and far as from my perspective, the biggest fear as a father is just that feeling of inadequacy.
hmm. I can see that. I can see that. My inadequacy. Wow. No, you know, if 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 we only understood that just being there as a start is ridiculously important. I mean, my I got home from work today. My daughter ran up to me and she was the biggest hug in the world. I'm like, she was like, "Oh, Dad, I missed you." I'm like, "I missed you too." I said, "How was your day?" She was like, "I don't care. I just missed you." You know what I mean? It's just we we feel. I mean, let's be real. We how often do we feel that we're doing it right? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
There is no. I mean, there. There is no right answer. I'm lying to you. There's one right answer, and that one right answer is just making the attempt. That one right answer is just showing this child that you know what, no matter what, you mean absolutely everything to me.
yeah,
And 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 yes, there are times in which I felt that when I was younger, there are times in which I was like, man, um, this is this is my future. You know what? This is my and this again, and this is when I was younger. This is my future. This is, I got to make sure I got to do this right. She's going to be, um, she is a representation of me. You
yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah.
So, if she's on the pole, they're going to be like, Dad, what in the world did you, Dad, what in the world did you do wrong? You
Yep,
know what I'm saying?
yep.
But no, but I just came to the realization that
But what
if
made you
go
realize
ahead.
that, right? Because it's such a simple point, right? It's you know we're
Mhm.
so simple. Yeah, at a core layer, men are just simple creatures, right? We're just simple. Um,
Okay. Okay.
like we're just real basic, real simple creatures. But what made you realize that simple concept, though, that just being there is it? Like that. That's the biggest part.
What made me realize that just being there was because the narrative and you're probably going to think, you know what, dude, you're really, but I'm just going to be honest about it. The narrative in our culture is that money's enough.
Yes,
That that
yes.
that's the narrative in our culture. And I would just, I mean, take my flag and stamp it right into the ground in front and say, "Hey, men, if I mean, if you said something like, you know what, I'm not going to have your child stay with you for what 5, 6, 7, 8 months, and say, you know what, just let me have time with the child, as opposed to the child not being with you at all, and you just sending the money, that child is gonna end up despising you later down the line. I mean, and I mean, really, it's so difficult to explain how easy it is.
Yeah.
I mean, how easy it really is. And and I'm not saying parenting is easy, but I'm saying for your child, for the child, you you can't they you can't screw up. The only way you screw up when they're a child is if they don't see you.
Mhm.
I mean, your presence is more important than anything they can ever imagine. I
So I want to
mean,
go ahead. I want to go ahead and take a quick question from looks like KJ here.
oh wow,
Um, so Ted Cruz's daughter just came out bisexual. How
okay,
would each of you handle that as fathers? Um,
wow. Want to take a shot at that logic?
so the first thing, as fathers, the first thing is really just and it's cliche,
Mhm.
but the first thing is love on them, right? Is to understand, what's going on, why they are. And oftentimes it comes from it it's a lashing out of some un um, unresolved trauma. Um, and it's really just, just a lack of a relationship, I think, between the parents. So as a father, I would be looking at where I went wrong and then restore the relationship. Um, and oftentimes there's a forgiveness piece and a healing piece that needs to go along with it. But it wouldn't be in me to bash my daughter or,
Mhm.
you know, um, condemn her in the sense of, um, like you're going to hell type thing. No, like this, you have to love on them in the sense to correct them, but do it in a way that you spiritually guide them as well. That's pretty much how I would handle it, and it would be a process. I just understand, hey, something's going on. Why do you say you're bisexual?
That
You
was
know,
going to be my question.
yeah,
Do you think it's, is it
yeah,
in the mind? Is it what caused,
yeah, and it's just there. Oftentimes when particularly things with sexuality happen, it's because there's um, some trauma,
Mhm.
that hasn't been dealt with, and you know, you have to kind of over you not a kind of, but you have to overcome that first. So go ahead. What you got to say, man?
No, if that happened to me, I mean, it's empathy and sympathy. I'm always going to be
So you be sad for him?
say no, no, no. Like let me continue. Let me continue. Let me continue. Like it's it's I'm gonna love you no matter what. So I mean that's number one. That and how would you handle that? So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to put that situation into us like into my present day be
Well, it's a hypothetical, man.
because I
It's a hypothetical.
yeah, I mean, but I'm saying, okay, so how would I go about that? I mean, she's college, 19, or about to turn 20. Um, no, first, yeah, I would definitely make it so that she understood that there was comfort there. Like, you know what, I can come to you. I know you're not going to, I know you're not going to bash me. I know you're going to listen to me. And I feel that I can actually come to you, because the worst thing that you want to happen is your child not come to you,
Yeah.
So the fact that she can come to me, and then after that, it would be, just listening, because I have a habit of talking a lot and being, you know what, we're men, we're authoritarians, we're leaders, we're this, we're that with our kids and family. So it would be one of those things in which you'd have to step back and just try to be a really, really, really good listener and find out, where this is coming from,
Yeah.
and help her understand that, you know what, is it good, is it bad, that's not this or that, just the fact that I want you to be able to be free to express why this is what it is. And it's then taking steps after that to to show support.
Well, and I think, yeah, you made me think of something with this. First off, the question is, how did this become a news story in the first place? Like who, like who broke the story? Because a lot of times family matters are family
Mhm.
matters, right? And they stay just that. So, with the fact that this became a story, kind of shows that there is maybe an outcry for attention, right? There's
Mhm.
an outcry for, hey, Dad, man, I'm missing you. Like I don't see you. Like you're always busy. You're on the road. I see you on TV doing X, Y, Z. You know, where are you? I'm here, right? So I'm gonna try to do the worst thing that I can to hurt him. I'm gonna come out as bisexual, right? And a story
Hmm.
is done about it. Like how do we get from family issues to now that being public knowledge, of Ted Cruz's family. All right, so th- that's kind of where I think it is, and that's where I say why I say, restoring the relationship is critical
Mhm.
because there's obviously some type of trauma that she's dealing with, in the sense that maybe dad's not, there. He's missing too many events. He's not, picking up the phone when you call. I don't know what it is, but
Let's be real. That right there though is that's a very harsh way to get somebody's to get somebody's attention. You could you could do that behind the scenes. You could come up with something. You can, but to come out and say, so my question to you is, so do you think this is something that's truthful, or do you think this is her trying to get attention?
well,
Because
either way, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter either way. It's just the fact that he needs to address it,
of course,
right? It doesn't matter whether she is or not, or if it's a cry for attention. It's the fact that there is a call out, for it to happen, and there he needs to answer the call. That's it.
cool.
So speaking kind of on that line, I do want to
Hmm.
go into like some of the emasculation of things, um, was going on, and I thought, as far as the emasculation of men, I
Hmm.
thought this was an interesting way to show it. So go ahead and roll that.
Oh yeah, I
Roll
got you,
that
man. I
clip.
got you, man. Are you ready for
Roll that
this?
clip.
Yeah.
What most people would do is turn away.
We got the COVID cough.
Because the vision I'm about to give you,
That's hilarious, man.
it might get nasty.
Yeah, look at that look on his face, man.
It might get nasty.
Oh my god! Do you hear? Listen. Oh, oh,
Hey, take that off the screen, man. Take that off the screen. Get that off my screen, man. Oh. All right, so let me ask you this: Are we missing the
that was
message?
disrespectful.
Let me ask you this: Are first off? Look, man, I know you gotta go home, man. I know you gotta get off of here, man.
Forgive me, man. That was funny.
Are we missing the message?
Yo, if oh, oh my god!
Oh my gosh!
Oh, I'm trying.
Hold on.
Hold
I
on,
gotta
I'm
play
sorry.
that for him again, man. I'm
Oh, I'm sorry,
gonna close
man.
my eyes.
What most people would do is turn away.
I'm turning away. I'm
Yo,
turning away
don't
right
do
now.
that. Yo, that's horrible, bro. Yo, look at the look on his
The
face.
vision I'm
I
about
ain't
to
looking
give
at
you,
it. I'm not
No,
looking at it.
no,
Right
look at
now.
the look on my man.
it
Look.
might get nasty.
No, I am not looking at it right now, man.
Wait for it, Joe. That right there.
You got it off the screen yet?
Yo, dude.
Oh, come on,
All
man.
right. I'm sorry. Yo, oh my God, that was just. Oh Lord, have mercy.
Oh,
Oh wow, I wasn't. Oh man.
to
Oh
me,
my
man, I
God.
think that's another example of the emasculation of men.
That was ridiculously disrespectful, man.
I think that's another
Oh,
example of the emasculation of men, man.
I no, I agree.
To have
Oh,
another man, it's like you're bowing down to another man in that example. This man can spit in his hands and then rub it in my face.
okay, I
You
get that. I get that.
you can be my brother. I like you can be my brother, but that no that's
Now,
demeaning to manhood, and men, we're supposed to stand together, not slap each other with spit.
it's like, oh my God. Yeah, you know what? And quite frankly, I have to be 100% honest with you. Whatever you were trying to to, whatever you were trying to attempt to show, that the example that you used completely took whatever you were attempting to show and just completely, I mean, I don't know how anybody can get what anybody can get from that demonstration. Whatever you were trying to, I mean, let's be real here. Look at the facial expressions you were making in your mind. You were sitting here like, damn, I shouldn't be doing this. Like, so like
Yeah.
I mean, for real, he's looking at his hand like, I'm really about to do this. You
Yeah.
know, I blame, dude. I blame the.
That was some nasty spit. It wasn't a clear spit. It was
No, man. That had color to it.
that was the hakalugi spit. Like
Yeah. that had color to it, man.
yeah, that's the before you brush your teeth in the morning spit.
Stop it,
That
bro. That was bad.
That's the spit after you had 8 Jolly Ranchers. Like
you
that's the
I get you. I get you, but the fact of the matter is that was so bad that whatever you were attempting, whatever demonstration you were trying to demonstrate, whatever you were trying to get across, you failed miserably because you went. I understand that people have to do things above and beyond to either get the clicks, to get the views, or whatever.
So do you
But
think
that
it was
right
a
there.
clickbait? Do you think that was clickbait?
Do you know what I think that was? Honestly, I
What's
think that was equivalent to Dr. Jamal Bryant saying these hoes ain't loyal.
No, there like in his
Like
defense, he had a point with that particular sermon.
he did, but I mean that wasn't even
That's
that
not in
wasn't
the
even
same field, man.
scripturally. That was it was that was. I mean, come on.
Or are
When
you saying like biblically accurate?
Yeah, that wasn't even biblically accurate. I
Okay.
mean, seriously. I mean, listen to how you said it. He spit in his hand and then slapped spit across somebody's face. That's not what happened. I mean, that's not even what happened at all. I mean,
No,
for real.
no.
But what I'm saying is, what I meant by that comparison is like this is something I believe that was planned ahead of time,
Of course,
something that was thought about before.
of course.
And the look on his face when he was doing it, the man was still, his mentality was like, dude, it seriously looked like he was like, yo, I do not believe I'm about to do this. and I feel sorry for the dude that was on the stage, and that was just disrespectful. It was absolutely disrespectful. I would not, you couldn't pay me to have that happen.
It was terrible.
It was terrible is an understatement.
But
Terrible
does
is an
this
understatement.
emasculate men?
Of course,
help me with
absolutely,
that.
of course. I mean, we get it enough. We deal with it enough from the from our feminine counterparts. Now we have other men doing it. I mean, we already have a culture of women that don't respect men for being men. Now we have other men not respecting men for being men. But the
But
worst
this
part
is
about it is
this
we
is
have the guy that allowed it to happen to him.
but this is the type of manhood, particularly, and I'll probably get a lot of backlash for this, but this is
Okay.
the type of man that typically the black church promotes as men who are subservient, men who literally would get spit in their face, and these are the men that are promoted as men.
Well, that's why 70% of the black church are women, because the men aren't, the majority of men are like, this is bull. I and you're right. I mean, let's be real here. Let's go to some of our black churches today and look at the men.
Yeah,
Let's be real here. The majority of the men have left the black church. They have, because it's logic over emotion, and when it's, hey, our tithes and our offerings are being paid by the majority of the church being women, you can't say what you really want to say, because you still have lights that have to be kept on. You still have all that. So you know what, we got to get the tithes.
yeah. So what do you say to the people that are defending this as, oh, you missed the message, oh, you're more concerned with the spit than the message. Like, what do you say to those people, looking at this?
It is what it is. You think what you want to think. My mentality is you probably wouldn't let it happen to you. So, I mean, and quite frankly, believe it or not, you're more concerned about the spit than what'd you say?
Then I saw one post on Facebook that said you're more concerned about the spit than the sin.
Than the sin.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, that quote that you're just talking about is probably a better argument than what we just saw on stage. That point, that the quote for that point makes more sense than what I just saw on stage. You see, I can actually understand the quote when I look at what I just saw on stage. What was attempted to be done ruined what was on stage, what he was attempting to do.
So hey, Evie, Miss Evie Harris. Hey, we're just talking about the.
Good evening.
What was that guy? What was that pastor's name?
I believe his name is Todd. Pastor Todd, spitting in the guy's eyes, completely misinterpreting the scripture.
Yeah. So
and in turn,
we were just looking at that as examining that as emasculation of men, and now we're talking about why people are defending it. And so I look at it like this, right? The church is supposed to be a place where the unbeliever can come to believe, where you can fellowship and worship. And when you look at that from that perspective, like if let's say I was an unbeliever, and I came into church and saw that message, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's at least in the context of that showing,
you didn't get a fan at all. You didn't.
It's not.
You just ruined the purpose.
I wouldn't come back to the church, and I would tell anybody, hey, don't go to church, man, because they spit in people's face, right? And that guy up there was just sitting there taking it. And if that's what it means to be a Christian, I don't want it. If that what it means, what it means to follow Christ, I don't want it.
No, I get that.
You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm an unbeliever,
see, that's the thing, though.
And I come to church and I saw that.
I don't think that's what it means, though. I don't think that's what it means to follow Christ. I think that was just one bad example of, and you guys, hey, say what you want to say. You guys can say what you want to say about it. I think that was a bad example of how to illustrate. I mean, that was just a horrendously bad example of how to illustrate the point that you were trying to get across.
Yeah, but let's see, that's the first and only example. Because let me ask you this: do you think there was any first-time attendees at that service that day?
Absolutely.
Right. Do you think that any out of them could have possibly been unbelievers?
Do I believe any of them were unbelievers?
Yeah.
Oh, well, it's a possibility. It's a large church.
Yeah.
There's a chance that one of them would have been.
So it's just, and don't get me wrong, I understand that every message isn't for everybody. But what I'm saying is, like, you're literally rejecting people from the body of Christ in these type of examples versus attracting. Because now you're debating on, like you're creating a debate amongst the so-called believers that are saying, like, hey, is that what Christianity is? And it's good to question Christianity. Don't get me wrong. Like, you should.
It's good to question everything.
You should definitely question Christianity, because that's how you seek and know and understand for yourself. You should always seek truth. You should always love the truth, and you should try to find that, in everything you do. So, and then that includes Christianity. But if you're trying to be a light, I don't think that was a light showing right there. you know, I just don't see that as a light, and maybe it's just me, but that is not attractive.
I tell you, if I would have walked into that and that was my first time, or I was, you know what, that would probably. How does God look at that? You
I
know,
think he laughs. I think he laughs like, dude, these idiots.
yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, I know God has a sense of humor. I can say that, but you know what? He's probably looking at that like, no.
I mean, he probably just says no, but I mean, look,
Mm,
uh, you know, we judge ourselves more than God judges us.
yes, agreed.
you know, um, so you know, look, I just don't agree with the particular message. You know,
Mm.
and I don't agree with the display and how it went down. Um, there's no way that I'm allowing another man
Not at all. Not at all. Not at all.
to spit.
Not at all. That like that is probably the most disrespectful thing you can do to another person. That
Yeah,
has
like
got to be the
imagine
most
what you do
disrespectful
after
thing.
a fight. Like after a fight, you done beat somebody up. What's the last thing you do?
You spit on him.
You spit on
Exactly. And then you walk away. You see what I'm
What's the,
saying? You
so
see?
I wonder if he had lost a bet at some point, and 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 Pastor Todd was like, you know, I'm gonna spit on you, right? And you know, I'm gonna do it in front of the church.
He
You
said
know,
I'm
I
gonna
got
do
you.
it. He said
I'm
I'm gonna do it in front of the church.
like, this guy owed him some money. This dude owed him some money from some time. So way
Oh,
back
that's
when
hilarious.
they caught back up with
Oh
each
my
other, it's like,
god.
you know, I got you. Like,
He said I'm gonna, you know, I'm gonna do it in front of the church.
you know. Hey, man, there was boys
Oh,
growing up
that's
in high
great.
school. You know what I'm
That
saying?
is
Like,
great. Oh,
he took
brother.
his date from the prom or whatever. And now they got back.
He
They
getting
got
him
back
back now.
friends. And
He getting him back now.
Pastor Todd was like, "Hey, you know, I got a church now, right? You know, I can put
He
you on
said, "You
blast.
know, I got a church, right?"
You know,
He said, "You
not
know,
just
I got a church."
not just a church, a mega church.
He
And
is
if you
like,
want
"I got a
forgiveness
church
from
now."
me, hey,
You know, I'm gonna spit in your face, right?
you know, I'm gonna spit. You know, I'm gonna spit in your face, right? Hey,
Yo,
put some
stop! Come
respect on my
on, man.
name. Put some
Oh,
respect on my
oh my
name.
gosh!
You know, I'm gonna
You
spit in
can't,
your
you
face.
can't, you can't. You can't.
Hey, man.
Oh, I can't. Oh my
Hey, man. Let's
goodness,
get out of here, man.
Hey, it's always a pleasure, man.
Yeah, man.
Oh my gosh,
Uh,
what did you do to get me on camera? I tell you.
you ain't even been on camera, man. You've been hiding behind this screen, man. Show everybody your shirt, man.
Oh, yo, come on, man. They already know what the deal is.
Show everybody your shirt.
Black
Man,
manosphere,
change
always.
your camera. Change your camera angle, man.
Not at all, man.
Oh my god.
This the camera angle. You know what? You get a. Yeah, I tell you, gonna make me give you a split second of that. If I
No,
have
see.
to do that, I will.
See.
Oh,
There you
brother. Hold on, I got you. You're gonna get a split second. That's about it. Oh boy.
Man, you don't even know how to do it.
Bam. There we go.
There you go.
Black manosphere.
There
Yes.
you go.
Always, always, always.
Miss Evie Harris says that's a good angle for a producer.
What's that?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, the
That's why I'm at
control
this
center.
angle.
The
Thank you.
control
Thank you.
center. Yeah, man.
No.
All
No.
right.
Oh, Evie, we appreciate you. Thank you so much. KJ, we appreciate you. Thank you so much. Tia, thank you so much. Yvette, thank you so much. We are really appreciate you guys. It's we haven't had the opportunity to be on for a little while. We have a lot of other projects that are currently going on. If you want to talk about any of them,
Yep. So make sure you know this Metro Conservative Media. It's also live on my personal Facebook page. So make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Metro Conservative Media. Also, Poppin' Politics coming up tomorrow. We got a great show for you. And then 8:30 show on Thursday. Man, like it's been an amazing time working with this crew. It's been awesome. And this right here, I'm gonna go ahead and call it. This is an impromptu episode of Great Thoughts Matter.
Great
This
Thoughts.
is also on Metro Conservative Media, so you can find that on hold on. Where's the little thing? Where's the little banner?
Oh man, if you
Metro
need,
Conservative Media, there we go.
you needed help. You see, for Poppin' Politics, you guys, on Thursday nights, I usually take care of all of this, so that one came up on time.
Yeah, so this is impromptu, man. We
Absolutely.
And we should do this more often, every now and then. But
absolutely. Yeah,
I'm about to hit you with this. Like, life makes sense when you think logically,
and everything happens for a reason. Great thoughts matter.
We
Have
out.
a good night, you guys. We appreciate you.
All right. Peace.